So there I was, mad at the legislators. Now, fast forward a few years. I became one. We as you know, we passed concealed carry in this state. And as has happened across the country, when we pass concealed carry, guess what happens to violent crime? It goes down. I mean, that's just irrefutable. It goes down. Now, interestingly, what does happen in some states? Property crime goes up. Not in all states, but in some states. Can you think why that might be? Anybody? Why would violent crime go down and property crime go up? Somebody?
Property doesn't shoot back.
Yeah. And seriously, without being too glib, if you talk to the bad guys, I'm not talking about crazy people. I'm talking about the run-of-the-mill bad guy. They're going to say, my God, I don't want somebody shooting at me. I don't want to die. I just want to rape her. I just want to steal that TV so I can buy my drugs. But I don't want to die. I don't want to risk my life doing it. So that's why sometimes property crime goes up. They'll go break into your car, or they'll go break into your apartment when you're not there. Okay. Now, I know some of you are, in fact, probably a lot of you in this room are very legislatively oriented, perhaps, or at least you're interested in how government operates. I know I spoke to several of you that have government backgrounds or majors. Let me tell you, and this might be a little bit of a surprise to you, but the media is actually your friend. Even if you're on my side of this issue, and remember, I'm not a gun nut. It's kind of funny because I go to some of these events. I'll go all over the country, and I go to these events, and these guys will come up to me, and they'll go, "Oh, I got this AR-95 thing," or and I don't have a freaking clue what they're talking about. They think I'm a gun expert. I have no clue. All I know is I want the ability, just the ability to be able to have that gun, to put it in my little sack of things I can use to protect my family. I've had people say, well, what about karate? You bet, go for it. That's just something else that you put in that little bag, just like locking your doors. I've had people say, well, Suzanna, are you paranoid? Why are you paranoid? I'm not paranoid. I'm not paranoid at all. Okay, maybe a little. But it's not a question of paranoia. People that ask me if I'm paranoid, I usually come back at them and say, do you have a smoke alarm in your house? And of course, if they have any brains at all, the answer is yes. Well, why? Are you paranoid? Are you paranoid that your house is going to burn down? Well, no, it's just it's a safety precaution that you take. That's all it amounts to. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about university carry. Duh. I filed the bill for university carry 2 or 3 times while I was in the legislature. We actually had a hearing on it one of those years. I can't remember if it made it out of committee or not. But one of the things that disturbs me to this day, I distinctly remember telling the committee members that it was only a matter of time before we have Alubies on a university campus. And I got to tell you, it gave me no pleasure at all to be looking at that television set when the Virginia Tech massacre occurred and be screaming at the set saying, I told you so. I told you so. This is not rocket science. The crazy people, now I'm not talking about the rank and file criminal again like we talked about earlier. I'm talking about the crazy people that want to rack up a big body bag count. Where are they going to go? I mean, those are the people that go where guns aren't allowed. If guns are the problem, why haven't we seen these mass murders, these mass shootings at skeet and trap shoots? Or the NRA convention? If guns are the problem, why haven't we seen any of these mass shootings at the dreaded gun show? Places where there are thousands of guns in the hands of at least as many law-abiding citizens. It's because it's not about the gun. The gun is just a tool. That's all they are. It's a tool. And a gun is a tool that can be used to kill a family, or it's a tool that can be used to protect a family. I will tell you that I have 2 children in public schools right now. And when we talk about, or when I mention paranoia, there is one place where I'm a bit paranoid. And that's that somebody will go into my kid's school and there won't be anybody there to protect them. The mass shootings don't happen where the guns are allowed. And that scares me. I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to open it to any questions that you might have. I want to finish it with a story. I told you I've got 2 kids now. Most of you are pretty young. Anybody in here have kids? Anybody? Okay, a few. The rest of you more than likely will eventually have children. So this might be a little difficult for you to understand, but just go with me here. Imagine for a moment that you do have kids. Imagine for a moment that you got your 2-year-old with you, and when you leave here this evening, you and your buddy and your 2-year-old go down here to the local cafeteria. Somebody breaks through the window, or better yet, some guy, and you just notice it out of the corner of your eye, you notice some guy walk in with a trench coat, and he kind of catches your eye because he seems maybe a little out of place. And as you're still holding on a conversation with your buddy, you suddenly see the trench coat come open. He pulls out a weapon, and at point-blank range, shoots the elderly woman in front of him. You think, my God. You immediately look around and realize, I don't have an exit right here. And interestingly enough, most of you won't even look around for an exit. You won't even look for an exit. As that gunman is going around the room, very calmly and very deliberately executing people, as that guy is leveling his weapon on your 2-year-old's forehead, or your little sister's forehead, or the kid that you're babysitting's forehead. At that point, even if you've chosen not to have a weapon, don't you hope the guy behind you has one and knows how to use it at that time? I gotta tell you, now in my life, I would much rather be sitting in jail with a felony offense on my head and have my parents alive to know their grandchildren